Polgar is now retired, but she has beaten players like Magnus Carlsen, Anatoly Karpov, Garry Kasparov, Vladimir Kramnik, and many others. Yeah, very strong player. And of course, as everybody knows, she would have beaten Garry more times, but Garry cheated against her and he took back a move in a game. I don't think there's any video of that, unfortunately, but like she would have had a couple of wins against Garry if he hadn't cheated. There is a video. Does someone have a link of that video? Wait, does somebody have a link of that video? Seriously. Youngest chess grandmasters in history. The game of chess just keeps getting younger and younger. Grandmaster titles are now being achieved at 12, 13, and 14 years of age. Young talents are able to take advantage of the wealth of information, consistent and regular tournaments, and government support on a global level. The one thing that remains from the dawn of chess is that to reach the top, hard work is still king. All right, now we've watched the time lapse before, so I'm not going to watch it. So let's go with the let's take a look at all the GMs. Am I on here or not? Am I on here? Let's see. Am I in the top 39, you guys? I haven't seen the whole list. Am I in the top 39? What do you guys think? This list showcases the top 39 youngest grandmasters as of June 30th, 2021. After barely holding on to the record with GM Gukesh D and missing by just 17 days, GM Sergey Karjakin's record was broken by IM Abhimanyu Mishra in 2021. Okay. We have Abhimanyu Mishra, Sergey Karjakin, Gukesh, Sindarov. Actually, I didn't realize how young Sindarov was when he became a GM, but very young also. 12 years, 10 months. Praggnanandhaa, Noterbeck, Parmesan, Magnus Carlsen, Wei Yi, Ranak Sadwani, Bu Zhangxi, Sam Sevian, Richard Rapport, Mark Andrea Maritzi, Timur Rajbov, Ruslan Ponomarev, Nihal Sarin, A. Wonder Liang, Wesley So, Etienne Bacro, Ilya Nizhnik, Maxim Vachilev, Peter Leko, Jorge Corey, Hu Yifan, Jeffrey Zhang, Anish Giri, Yuri Kuzubov, Daniel Dayak Bogdan, Darius Swirtz, Alireza Firouzja, Aryan Chopra, Nagok Win Sun, Shevchenko, Kamer, Arjun, Dubov, Ray Robson, Fabiano Caruana, and Yu Yang Yi. And I am not on the list, you guys. I'm not on this list. I'm not on the list. I'm not in the top 40 youngest GMs. Very sad. Not in the top 40, unfortunate. But hey, I can also flex because when I look at these 40 people who are GM, there are probably about 5 of them who I consider better than me. So I can flex like that too. I can also flex like that. These guys might have gotten GM younger, but hey, they're no good. All right, let's keep going. Who do I think is better? I mean, there's Fabiano, there's Magnus, of course. I mean, there's Timur and Richard and Ali Reza, but actually, how many of these guys have been 2750? I'm looking. Actually, there's Peter Leko and Maxime. How many of these guys have been like solid 2730 plus? Leko and Maxime are 2. Fabiano at the bottom is 3. That's 3 players. Anish Giri that's 4. They're 4. Magnus obviously is 5. Richard and Ali Reza, that's 7. There are only like 7 people on here. There are only like 7 people on here who have been like 2750, which is kind of interesting when you look at it. Rajbov too. Sorry, I forgot about Rajbov. Yeah, Rajbov as well. I said Wesley, didn't I? I thought I said Wesley earlier. Well, let me see. Okay, there's I'll just go. Sergey and Magnus, those 2 are obvious. That's 2. Rapport is 3. Rajbov is 4. Ruslan is 5. Wesley is 6. Maxime is 7. Leko is 8. Anish is 9. Anish, and then Ali Reza is 10. And then there's Fabiano. So there are only 11 people. Only 11 people in these top 40 who have gotten to a GM have made it to like 2750. I bet even less have made it to 2700 actually. So it's interesting to note. Very interesting. All right, let's go through the list. Abhimanyu Mishra. Abhimanyu Mishra became the youngest international master in 2019 at the age of 10 and began earning his GM norms in 2021. On June 30th, he earned his 3rd and final norm at the Vezir Kepzo GM's mixed Swiss tournament in Budapest, Hungary, to become the youngest GM in history. Mishra broke Karjakin's record, which had stood for 19 years by more than 2 months in age. Okay, I'm not going to go through the games. Next up, we have Sergey Karjakin. For 19 years, GM Sergey Karjakin held the record for the youngest grandmaster in chess history at 12 years old and 7 months. Like many children, Karjakin learned chess at the age of 5, and just 6 years later, at the age of 11, he was an international master. Karjakin has been World Rapid Champion 2012 and World Blitz Champion 2016. In March of 2016, he won the Canada's tournament and earned the right to challenge Magnus Carlsen for the World Chess Championship. Though Karjakin lost this match to Carlsen in November 2016, he still has aspirations to challenge for the champion in the future. Age of 5, yeah, well, the thing is, by virtue of looking at the ages these people started playing chess, of course the two people who are the best players in the world are myself and Ali Reza, because we both started a lot later than that. So yeah, I started at 7, which these days is considered very old. I think Ali Reza also started like 7 or 8 as well, but most of these people started younger, so obviously we're just much more naturally talented. Okay, let's keep going. Karjakin played one of the best games of his career against Caruana at the 2016 Canada's tournament. This fighting back and forth game shows the trademark style of Karjakin. All right, let's keep going. Putting all those logos on a suit jacket is very ghetto. Yeah, but you know, I mean, I will say this, you guys, in chess, unfortunately, we're not very creative, and so what happens is basically you go to the company like Alpari or whomever it is, you're like, yo, dude, I'll wear your logo on my jacket, just give me 50K a year, basically, is what you say. All right, what do we have next? Okay. We have Gukesh Domaraju. At the age of 12 years, 7 months, and 17 days, Indian prodigy GM Gukesh Domaraju, or Gukesh D, became the second youngest grandmaster in chess history. He scored his third grandmaster norm at the 17th Delhi International Chess Grandmaster Open in New Delhi, India. Gukesh's talent was spotted by his first and school coach, Mr. Bhaskar, who made sure little Gukesh became a FIDE-rated player within 6 months of learning the game. Nice. Yeah, Gukesh, by the way, I think he's a very talented junior player. I don't know where he's going, but yeah. D Gukesh, yeah, exactly. How old was I? I was 15 years old, like 30 days, something like that. Okay, what's next? We have the Javokhir Sindarov, who trounced Ali Reza in the World Cup. When Javokhir Sindarov earned the Grandmaster title, he was the first player since Karjakin to reach the title before he turned 13. The Uzbek youngster earned each of his 3 norms in 1 year at the 2018 Aliyeka Memorial, the FIDE World Junior Championship, and the first Saturday tournament. All right. Okay, Sindarov, yeah, that's a cute picture when he was young. Okay, who's up next? We have Praggnanandhaa Ramesh Babu. At the age of 12 years, 10 months, and 13 days, Indian prodigy GM Praggnanandhaa Ramesh Babu became the then second youngest grandmaster in chess history. He scored his third grandmaster norm at the 4th Gradine Open in Ortisei, Italy. Praggnanandhaa first made his name known by winning Continental Asian Championships and 2 World Championship titles. Praggnanandhaa was also the world's youngest international master at 10 years old, a record he still holds. Okay. Yeah, another very talented junior player. Should be interesting to see where he goes. Next up, we have Norbek Abdusattorov. GM Norbek Abdusattorov's name made headlines first when he defeated 2 grandmasters at the age of 9 at the 2014 Tashkent Open. He scored his first GM norm in the 2016 Chigorin Memorial and then went on to achieve his second in Abu Dhabi in August 2017. He is by far the biggest Uzbek talent since Rustam Kasimjanov, who won the 2004 FIDE Knockout World Championship in Tripoli, Libya. I would say, however, on this one, Sindarov is close. Sindarov is close. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that I would say that Abdusattorov is necessarily more talented. They're both very, very good. All right. Next up, what do we have? We have Parmesan Negi. Now a PhD student at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, GM Parmesan Negi earned the Grandmaster title back in 2006 when he was just 13 years old. Since he got the title, Negi has won the Arjuna Award 2010 from the Indian government, the Indian and Asia Chess Championships, and was a member of the 2014 bronze medal winning team at the Olympiad for India. All right, so very strong player. He actually he more or less has stopped playing chess. He's written quite a few books, but he is studying at MIT, so very, very, very impressive. All right, we have Magnus Carlsen, also known as Magnus Carlsen, nicknamed the Mozart of chess. GM Magnus Carlsen is in a league of his own. The reigning world champion's rating has skyrocketed past Garry Kasparov's previous record of 2851 to an unfathomably high 2882. With fierce determination and a palpable will to win, he has dazzled fans with his ability to outwork opponents and find computer-like moves in his games time after time. All right. Okay, that's Magnus. Of course, no introduction is needed. No games are needed. Next up, we have Wei Yi. GM Wei Yi has broken all kinds of rating and age records throughout his lifetime. He is also the second youngest player in history to break the 26 2600 rating barrier after John M. Burke. Wei's quick progress is apparent, earning both the International Master and Grandmaster titles in the same year. He was the world's youngest Grandmaster when he earned the title, being only 13 years, 8 months, and 23 days old. Nice. Very nice. Okay, what's up next? Next up, we have Ranak Sadhwani, someone we're all very familiar with. I've obviously played him a lot in Title Tuesday and other events. GM Ranak Sadhwani is currently India's 4th youngest ever Grandmaster. While also getting his elo over 2500, Sadhwani scored his 3rd Grandmaster norm in the FIDE-Chess.com Grand Swiss in October 2019 in Isle of Man. Sadhwani ended up scoring 50% in a strong field. His opponents were GM Sinan Shugarov, Sergey Karjakin, Sergey Ganguly, Ivan Saric, Pavel Elyanov, Peter Leko, Gabriel Sargsyan, Marcus Rager, Alexander Motilev, Basim Amin, and Maxim Chigayev. Alright. Here's how he defeated former European champion Motilev. Alright, let's keep going. Am I retired from chess? No, you guys, I'm not. Next up is Bu Shangji. GM Bu Shangji earned his title in 1999, making him the youngest GM in chess history when he broke the record. Karjakin would break the record in 2002. The great Bu won the Chinese Chess Championship in 2004 and has since represented China in 4 Olympiads, including the 2018 Olympiad where China won gold. Alright, a well-known talent, Bu made more headlines in 2017 when he eliminated El Magneto, also known as Magnus Carlsen, in the World Cup, and then beat the world champion again in the World Rapid Championship later the same year. Alright, pretty good. Okay, and then there's also an addendum. There's a top... Oh, I didn't notice there was an addendum. We also have an addendum to this, which is top 6 youngest female chess grandmasters. So let's see what they are. There's Hu Yifan, who did it 14 years 5 months, the same age as actually 14 years 5 months is where on the main list? Let me scroll up. 14 years 5 months would be where? 14 years 5 months would be about 24th in the world, roughly. So about 20... She would have been she's 24th overall, actually. Not bad. Not bad. Very good. And of course she is the greatest female, I guess 2nd greatest of all time after Judit Polgar, but still very impressive. Okay, we have oh, but look at how, oh my gosh, look at how fast it drops off, you guys. 14 years old, 15, 15, 16, and then 19 years old. That just, like, oh my gosh, that just falls off like it. That's insane, actually. 14, 15, 15, 16, and then 19. That's insane. That's crazy. That's crazy, actually. That's insane. It goes from, like, you go from like 4, which are relatively in the range, and it's like 3 years. That's absolutely insane. Crazy. Crazy. This is the Grandmaster title, you guys. Grandmaster title. Okay, so first off, we have Hu Yifan. 4-time women's world chess champion GM Hu Yifan also holds the record for the fastest any female player has reached a GM title at just 14 years and 5 months. The Chinese Grandmaster is the 3rd woman to ever break the top 100 live rating list, behind GMs Maya Chaburdanidze and Judit Polgar. Why isn't she mentioned in the main list? I don't know. That's actually, she should be put on that list. You guys are asking what is the difference? I'll tell you the difference. There are a lot less females at the upper echelons of chess. If you think about it, if you think about how many GMs there are who are 2,500, I'm betting the male to female ratio, the skew of GMs is something like, I'm gonna say, like, I honestly want to say it's something like 100 to 1. I really want to say it's 100 to 1. Maybe I'm crazy, but I think it's like 100 to 1. I think there are like 100 men grandmasters for every female grandmaster. So if you think about it from that context, oh, you're saying it's 300 to 1? I don't think it's 300 to 1. I think it's 100 to 1. But if it's 100 to 1, think about how many males are going to fail trying to get to GM, and how, like, think about, let's just say there are, let's just give a rough average. Say there are 2,000 kids who are like 2,400 who are like 12 years old. Theoretically, 12,000 male kids who are like 14 years old or 13 years old, whatever the age is, trying to get to GM. How many of them are going to succeed? Probably, I'm going to guess like probably like maybe 100 or 200 of them will get there. Maybe they'll get to GM. But you already have a 2,000 people trying. Whereas females, you're already talking about something like it's probably females at 2,400 in the world. Even you're already talking about maybe, I'm gonna say like 200 overall. Maybe it's a little bit more, maybe it's like 300, but there are probably not more than 300 women in the entire world who are rated 2,400. And so how many of them are going to get to GM? Again, it's a percentage thing. It's not going to be a high percentage of male or female, but there's so many more males who play, so that's why there's so many more who make it versus females. That's the reason. So yeah. All right. Okay, so Hu Yifan was the 3rd to break it. True, so stupid. I mean, that's just how it is. You have to be a little honestly, I've said it before, you have to be really competitive. You have to be a little bit psychotic, honestly, to get really good at chess. You have to screw a little bit loose. And I think in general women are more calm, and they're more even killed than men. I mean, so you know, I don't want to turn this political or anything, but I would say just look at the number of men who are in prison, for example. Just an example, you guys. Look at the number of men who are in prison. I'm just saying. You know. So all right. By the way, speaking of which, has that guy been caught in Florida yet or not? Okay. Who has played in many elite invitational tournaments, including the Tata Steel chess tournament where she beat GMHikaru with the black pieces? Okay. And we are back to prison chess. Yeah, we're back to prison chess. Exactly. Okay. Yeah. So next up is Humpy Koneru. When GM Humpy Koneru made the Grandmaster title in 2002, she broke the record for fastest woman to reach the GM title in just 15 years and 1 month, which, by the way, is right about the age that I got to Grandmaster. So very impressive. In 2011, the Indian Grandmaster was the challenger for the Women's World Championship title, where she lost to Hu Yifan. Over 15 years later, Koneru is still one of the best female players in the world. Very nice. How old was Judit Polgar when she became a GM? I don't actually know right off, but she's on the list, isn't she? She was third. Yeah, 15 years 4 months. She was third. So number 3. Okay. All right. Next up is Judit Polgar, of course, the greatest female player of all time. GM Judit Polgar is the only female player to have ever broken 2700 and is the strongest women's chess player of all time. Polgar is now retired, but she has beaten players like Magnus Carlsen, Anatoly Karpov, Garry Kasparov, Vladimir Kramnik, and many others. Yeah, very strong player. And of course, as everybody knows, she would have beaten Garry more times, but Garry cheated against her and he took back a move in a game. I don't think there's any video of that, unfortunately, but like she would have had a couple of wins against Garry if he hadn't cheated. So yeah, exactly. Speaking of sexism and all that stuff, Garry basically took back a move. He played a move and then he took it back, so he cheated and he would have lost the game as well. But yeah, he was world champion, so they let it slide. There is a video. Does someone have a link of that video? Wait, does somebody have a link of that video? Seriously, if someone has a link of that video on YouTube, I totally would watch that. Oh, this is awesome, you guys. This is awesome. Oh my gosh, that is a hilarious video. Wow, that is but that is pretty bad. That is pretty bad, I have to say. That is really bad. Really bad. But yeah, there goes my respect for Garry. I actually didn't think there was any I didn't think there was any video of it. Like, that's very impressive that there is video, because I just assumed there wasn't, but that's really bad. Has he ever recognized it? No, but I mean, it's, yeah. No way Garry repeats this today. No way Garry repeats this today. Okay, well, we're gonna watch this then. 1 second. Yeah, let's watch this video. You say no way that happens today. Okay, we'll have another video.
Just take on e4 and tie him down to the e.
Let's watch this video.
You didn't play rook a. You could just take on e4 and tie him down to the e pawn.
By the way,
Garry now, whoa, didn't he let go? He did let go.
I think he did.
I think he did. He let go.
And that allows the move bishop c5.
No, but it's touch. It's not. It's touch move clearly. But it's not touch release.
Touch release.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Down to the e pawn.
By the way,
Garry now. Whoa! Didn't he let go?
Yeah. So anyway, you guys. Yeah, that's kind of the point. He totally let go, and after knight b4, I go bishop c5, and he would have lost the game. Why did I let him off the hook? Because this wasn't a serious event. It was a blitz event. So that was the main reason. Who is he playing against? Oh, he's playing against his GM, Hikaru Nakamura. That's who he's playing against. But anyway, just for you guys who say that it doesn't happen, yeah, it does happen. It does happen. So yeah, just thought I'd point that out. All right, let's get back to the article, you guys. In the meantime, but that was just for those of you who are like, no, he would never do it in modern times. He's playing some streamer from Twitch, exactly. Yeah, it's not touch release. He did the famous dual hand castle. Everyone's done the dual hand castle. That's not a big deal. But taking back an actual move is pretty bad. Okay. So let's keep going. Next up after Judit, we have Katerina Lagno. Katerina Lagno is currently the 4th best female chess player in the world. GM Katerina Lagno has broken records on her way to the top of competitive women's chess. Lagno won the European Women's Championship in both 2005 and 2008 and played in the 2018 Women's World Chess Championship against GM Zhu Wenjun. Okay. So who's up next? So she's number 4. Next up is Alexandra Goryachkina. GM Alexandra Goryachkina has taken the chess world by storm. At just 20 years old, the Russian Grandmaster has already broken into the top 10 women's list. In 2015, she won the Russian Women's Championship Super Final. The Russian Grandmaster repeated this feat in 2017. Yeah, very, very strong as well. Very, very strong. So she's number 5, and then last one, number 6, is Lei Tingji from China. GM Lei Tingji is one of the strongest female players in China. Lei has participated in a myriad of team events for China that have resulted in gold medals. The Asian National Cup 2016, the Batumi Olympiad 2018, and the World Team Championship 2019. So she's number 6. I don't know what her overall world ranking is, but she's pretty high. She's pretty high ranked as well. So she's the 6th youngest. Do you think that these records will be broken with, or sorry, let me scroll down. Do you think that these records will be broken with the new computer powered generation? So here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna give you guys some general thoughts on this before we move on. So when I look at the youngest Grandmasters and how low it is, I think there is a cap. Like anything else, I'm gonna say that the cap for youngest Grandmaster, I think it's gonna get down to, I'm going to say that it'll get down to maybe tenure. I think the cap is somewhere around 10 and a half. 10 years and maybe 6 months is the absolute cap, I think. Okay, you guys, you're being very funny. Yeah, I think 10 and a half is probably the cap on getting to GM. No cap intended. So that's what I would say. I think 10 and a half. 10 and a half is my guess. It's not going to go below 10, I don't believe. So I think you'll have a GM at 10 years, 6 months. That's the absolute cap. I don't see it getting younger than that. So that's what I see on the male side. On the female side, again, because of the stats and the way that it's skewed against females and how few reach the upper echelons, I think it'll go down potentially, but I don't think it's going to go down much. I could see that someone getting to GM at maybe like 14 years. I don't really see it going down much further because the statistics, there's so many fewer females who play the game. So that's my guess on both sides. I think maybe it'll get down to 14. But I think for the male kids, it'll get down to maybe 10 years, 6 months, somewhere around there. I don't think it can go lower.